God of the process, trusting Him before the breakthrough. Trusting the God who works behind the scenes. God is not just the God of breakthroughs, He is the God of the process. Too often, we celebrate deliverance while overlooking the divine hand that sustains us through the valley. Before miracles unfold, there is often a wilderness, a waiting room where our faith is refined. It is in this in-between space where God is most active in shaping our hearts, motives, and obedience. The Israelites in the wilderness, a process of purification. After their miraculous deliverance from Egypt, the Israelites did not enter the promised land immediately. Instead, God led them through the wilderness for 40 years, Deuteronomy 8 verse 2. What? To humble you and test you in order to know what was in your heart. God was more concerned with their inner transformation than with immediate comfort. The wilderness was not a delay in God's promise, it was part of the promise. Manna fell daily. Water flowed from rocks. Their clothes did not wear out. God's provision in the process was a constant reminder of His presence. He was not waiting to show up at the destination. He was already there in every step, testing, teaching, and revealing His nature. Elijah at the brook, trust in obscurity. Before Elijah called fire down on Mount Carmel, 1 Kings 18, he had a season of hidden preparation at the brook Cherith, 1 Kings 17 verses 2 to 7. There, God fed him with ravens and water from the brook. It was a place of solitude, dependence, and trust. God was removing Elijah from public ministry to prepare him privately for a greater purpose. When the brook dried up, it wasn't a sign of abandonment. It was God's signal for transition. Often, what looks like loss is simply the end of one provision and the beginning of another. Elijah's next step led him to the widow in Zarephath, and later to confrontation with kings and false prophets. Hidden truth: God sometimes allows the brook to dry to move you forward. Comfort can keep you stagnant, but drought pushes you to destiny. The Shunammite woman, faith in the process. In 2 Kings 4 verses 8 to 37, the Shunammite woman built a room for Elisha, not for a blessing but out of honor. When Elisha prophesied a son, she resisted hope. Perhaps past disappointments dulled her faith. But the child came. Then tragedy struck, the child died. But instead of mourning, she placed the boy on Elisha's bed and declared, "It is well." Verse 23. Her faith did not falter because she trusted the God who gave the promise. She didn't understand the process, but she knew who was in control of it. God used the death of her son not to break her, but to reveal His resurrection power. Faith isn't proven by how loud we shout in victory, but by our calm trust in the silence. Lessons from the process. The process is divine, not a detour. The wilderness, the brook, and the death of a promise are all tools in God's hands. Provision in the process is proof of God's presence. Manna, ravens, and quiet miracles reveal that God is near. Faith grows in the unseen. Trust is built when there's no evidence of the breakthrough. Isaiah 64 verse 4 reminds us, God acts on behalf of those who wait for Him. The process is not punishment, it's preparation. Before the breakthrough, God is already working. He's forming your character, shaping your faith, and aligning your life to reflect His glory. Trust the God of the process. He never wastes the waiting.